Which extant Protus group is most closely related to the embryophytes? Char- Charophytes. What evidence exists to include the Charophyta with the embryophyte as plants? Rings of cellulose synthesizing proteins, same sperm structure from Pharmoplasts. What evidence exists to exclude the Charophyta from being considered a plant? Embryophytes alternate from haploid and diploid. Charophytes are platonic. Charophytes lack sporanagia. Charophytes lack gametogia. Charophytes lack meristems and grow all over. What prevented plants from colonizing land before the time that they did? The protective ozone layer formed 600 million years ago. What were the benefits and challenges of adapting to a terrestrial environment? Benefits: unfiltered sunlight, more carbon dioxide, unoccupied niches. Challenges: lack of water, needed structural support. What adaptations did plants evolve to overcome the challenges of going on the land? Durable spore cell walls, cuticle in the epidermis, stomata, formed mutualism with fungi, mycorrhizae. Which of the four plant groups have are vascular tissue, spores, seeds, true roots, leaves, homocephalous, heterocephalous, a dominant gemotophyte, spormophyte generation? Know this answer in reference to all four main plant groups. Bryophytes, non-vascular plants, spores, lack leaves and roots. Homosporous, dominant gametophyte. Gymnosperms, seeds, vascular tissue. Sporophyte dominance. Heterotrophorous, true roots and leaves. 3. Angiosperms, seeds, heterosporous, vascular tissue, true roots and leaves, sporophyte dominance. And 4. Pterophytes, no seed, vascular plants. Some have true leaves and true roots. Most are homosporous, sporophyte dominance. Which embryophyte group is the most successful diverse today? Angiosperms. What plant group is basal within the embryophytes, which is the most derived? Bryophytes and angiosperms. What three groups are considered bryophytes? Liverworts, mosses, hornworts. What characterizes a bryophyte? Gamophyte dominance, lack of vascular tissue, flagellate sperm, disperse via spores, lack leaves, have phyllodia, lack roots, have rhizoids. Most are homospores. What characterizes a pterophyte? Sporophyte dominance, have vascular tissue, dispersed by spores, horizontally growing rhizomes, sporophylls. Most are homosporous. What were the first forests on Earth made of? Pterophytes. What are the two types of lyci- lycopodiophytes? Club mosses, spike mosses. What are the differences between the three groups of pteridophytes? Ferns are true leaves and have roots. Haploid spores dispersed by sori. Whisk ferns have rhizomes. Photosynthetic stems appear leafless. Spores form and fused sporangina at tips of branches and horsetails. Rhizomes non-photosynthetic. Photosynthesis occurs in stems and branches. Why are seed plants so much more successful than seedless plants? There are two major adaptations in seed and pollen. Seeds have nutritive tissues and seed coat. There are two advantages of seeds over plants: increases dominancy and improved transport. Pollen. Pollen, male gametes that allows fertilization without water. Know which female structure is inside of which Megasphoral, Megatropolis, Megastropolis dash Megaphorophyll dash ovule dash integument dash Megasporangium dash Megaspore dash female gamete dash egg dash seed. Know which male structure is inside of which microsphere. Microstrobulus dash microsphorophyll dash microsporangia dash microspores dash pollen dash male gamete dash seed. Male is micro and female is mega. What makes up a seed? Know which parts used to be what prior to fertilization. Ovule turns into a seed after fertilization / pollination. Female gametophyte food supply. Seed coat is old integument. Embryo new sporophyte upon germination. Know the four main Sacadidae, huge central strobili, palm-like leaves, high diversity, pollinated by beetles and poisonous seeds. Ginkgogade only has one current living species, Ginkgo biloba. Cones mistaken for fruits, high tolerance to air pollution, popular ornamental tree. Three, Genetidae, diverse appearance, possesses vessel elements. Only 3 genera today, and those are Genetum, Ephedera, and Welwitschia. And 4 is Pineaceae, conifers. They are the largest and most diverse disperse gymnosperm subclass. Most are evergreens. What are the keys to angiosperm success? Short life cycle, rapid growth, specialized pollination, and dispersal structures. Coevolution, fruits that float or stick, seeds survive, animal digestion. Okay. Fruit in what order they are layered. Yeah, fuck that. No. Know the four main groups of angiosperms and a little about each. Bacillo angiosperm. They have 100 species, polyphyletic, and three lineages, and Borrella trichopoda, water lilies, and star anise. 2. Magnolids, 8,000 species, narcotic or essential oils, sources of avocados, cinnamon, black pepper, poisons, and perfumes. Monocots, 25% of angiosperms. 1 cotyledon. 4 eudicots, 67% of angiosperms. 2 cotyledons. Which group is more closely related to fungi, plants, or animals? Animals. Which eukaryotic group colonized land first? Fungi, plants, or animals? Fungi, then plants, then animals. What defines a fungus? All fungi have or uses spores, not seeds, have chitin, lack of chloroplast, and possesses haploid and diploid stages. Most fungi are free-living, saprotrophs, and multicellular, but not all. Know a few of the amazing things that mycelia can do: transport substances, inflate with water, change growth direction, sensitive to touch. Know the traits that defines each of the 5 fungi groups. Okay. Citridomycota, one or Bacell, flagellated spores. Most are decomposers, some are dangerous parasites. Citrid. And then for 2, Zygomacato, fuzzy appearance, sexual or asexual. Then number 3, Morcata hyphae, penetrates plant cells, mutualistic with 85% of plants. Plants supply sugar to fungus. Fungi, hyphae, increase surface area, water, and minerals. Parentheses, zinc, copper, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Number 4, Ascomycota, SAC. They're the most diverse, commonly causes human diseases. The spores are held inside the scos, which is inside the ascocarp. And then Basidiomycota, only fungi that can break down lignin, possesses mushrooms, includes largest organism in the world, which is the honey mushroom, are Armillera astoicae. Why are cichlids so dangerous? Worldwide, amphibians extinction, it suffocates them. How do zygomycetes reproduce asexually versus sexually? Sexual reproduction, two forms of haploid zygomycetes, positive and negative. When a positive hypha touches a negative hypha, it produces a zygospore. This process is less common than the asexual process. After this, the zygospore goes through the meiosis to produce more haploid spores. Asexual reproduction, most common process, haploid mycelium mitosis in spores. Why are Thomorphiton different from most fungi? May form arbusculus in plant roots. How do Ascomycetes reproduce asexually versus sexually? Asexual haploid Caenodophorus produce spores called conidia budding. Sexual occurs in asacarp. Two types of haploid hyphae, A and B, fuse of ascus to form a zygote. Zygote goes through meiosis to form haploid spores and spores from new mycelia. Which fungi group most often cause disease? Which fungi group is the most diverse? Ascomycota. What are the most common human uses for Ascomycetes? Food, beverages, and drugs. How do Basidiomycetes reproduce asexually versus sexually? God damn it. Haploid spores fuse to form dacrid stage, produces mushrooms, and nuclei fuses in mushroom, goes through meiosis to form haploid spores on grills. What percentage of plants on Earth are mutualistic with some type of mycorrhizae? 95%. What makes up a lichen? Mutualism between an Ascomycete and a Basidiomycete and an alga. Where do endophytic fungi live? What do most do for their symbiote? Inside leaves and stem of most plants, produce chemicals that deter herbivores and protects hosts from pathogens. Which are some examples of pathogenic fungi? Meningitis, black mold, athlete's foot, histoplasmosis. What functions may leaves provide? Defense, support, reproduction, storage, and eating animals. Why are roots ecologically important? Roots hold soil together to prevent erosion. Mangroves help maintain shorelines because it prevents storm damage. What are the main differences between xylem and phloem as far as structure and function? Function: xylem carries water and ions, phloem carries sugar. And structure: xylem piled up dead cells, and phloem alive cells made of sieve tubes, companion cells, and vascular bundles. Sieve tubes carry sugars, companion cells load sugar into sieve tubes, vascular bundles, veins, and leaves. What are three main types of plant tissues and what are their functions? Vascular tissues provide transport pathways for water, nutrients, and supports the plant. Dermal tissue, epidermis secretes cuticle, forms outermost layer of plants that don't have bark. Ground tissue where photosynthesis occurs made of mesophyll. What are the three main types of plant cells and what are the differences among them? Parenchyma makes up most primary growth. It does secretion, storage, photosynthesis, and tissue repair. Calychemia supports the growing parts of the plant because it provides flexibility. Sclerotinia contains lignin and provides a rigid support. What are the differences between the two types of meristems and which plant groups have each? Apical meristems, all plant groups. Lateral meristems, all except bryophytes. What are the differences between the two types of cambia and which plant groups have each? Vascular cambium produces vascular tissue. All plants possesses this vascular cambium except bryophytes produces primary xylem inside and primary phloem outside. 2. Cork cambium makes cork. Cork and cork cambium produces paradorm. It is for secondary growth plants, only possesses by woody plants. How does vascular cambium increase a plant's width? What is produced to the inside, outside? Vascular cambium changes the width of the plant by adding more primary xylem on the inside and more primary phloem to the outside.